Hey folks, welcome to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts number 6, I think. So last night an update was released for the game. We're now in Alpha 2, version 6.2, and one of the key things that was of interest to me was changes to the survivability of transport ships. Given the last couple of scenarios that I've played, it was quite interesting to see that. So I've decided to play the destroy the armed convoy scenario this time out. We're up against, let me see, 2 battleships, a cruiser and 2 light cruisers, and then I think there's 6 or 8 transports. The goal is to destroy all the transports. So I'm planning to build 2 battlecruisers. We are limited to 13-inch guns due to the width of the barbettes. So we're going with 6 13-inch guns. We've got 6 5-inch guns and 3 mounts. We can only get 2 casemate guns. So I've made up the difference with torpedo tubes, 2 in the centre line and 1 aft, to try and manage the 4-weight offset a bit better. We've gone for many bulkheads because I think we're going to take a bit of a pounding, so try and increase our survivability. And I've also tweaked up the belt, deck and turret top armour for the same reason. We've also crip armour, etc. Quite a few adjustments in here to lower the weight, keep the cost manageable, so we're 5,000 short of only being able to produce 1 ship. Our long range accuracy is up to up by 60% due to one of the buffs at the start of the mission. I went for the guns and accuracy. We've had to go for pretty basic 4.5 towers. Again, just to fit in with the weight and cost. So that's the ship. We've got 2 of. Let's launch and see how we go. And what I want to do this time out is pretty much leave the ships to pick their own targets, unless they're being stupid about it. For example, not shooting at battleships. So we'll just be giving them their heading essentially, and letting them fight as a division. 6 transports. Okay, we've spotted them already and fire is underway. I'm going to go with the old couple of points left rudder just to keep the range open until we see what they do. And what is it you're targeting up here? We don't know yet, I suppose. Okay, let's anyway switch to armour piercing for now and aggressive. I think we've got plenty of ammo. Okay, big shell's going down range at, I hope it's not that. Interesting, is this smoke screen being laid here? Imagine that's our cruisers doing that. Still don't have ID on whatever we're shooting at. Okay. At least we know it's a warship. This is a 60-minute scenario. Have I said that already? I don't think so. It's a 60-minute scenario, so I'm going to actually go up to double speed just to reduce the time a bit. I don't know if you've played likes of Kerbal. You've got a similar sort of situation here where the ability to increase your time warp, if you like, is limited. So if you get too close, we've got ammo detonation fire on whatever we've hit there. Yeah, so if you get too close to the enemy, then you can't fast forward. That's in bad shape, whatever it is. Probably a light cruiser. If it's identifying it just now as a destroyer. Yeah, let's change course. Yeah, goes around to the starboard, curve back towards them now. Light cruiser. Okay. Let's switch to the Saratoga. Not taking any hits yet. We've already destroyed one of the cruisers. So what do you target now? A battleship. That's, I think, a good move. What, 8 kilometres? No, 5 kilometres. There was a transport ship further back, I think, that was confusing me. Nice hit there, destroying the main gun. When are they shooting at different targets? No, we both switched, I think, to the Santissimo Corquifisso. Fire going in that. The ammo explosion there would be nice. Okay, decks are awash here, what's going on? Oh no, that's what the ammo explosion's on this ship. I thought it was on the battleship up here. That's not nice, we don't want an ammo explosion then. We're still circling back towards them. Need some big hits on this ship. There's one. Let's reduce speed. I didn't even think about that. Let's go down to half speed. That'll hopefully throw the aim off for a bit as well. Oh, massive damage. That is incredible. That's 6044 mid-belt ammo detonation. That explains it. Okay, getting a bit too close. Let's zag back to the left, up to the port, I should say. And you can see that the main armament targeting the battleship, secondary, is it secondary? Targeting the light cruiser, 5-inch guns, yeah. This is good. 7 shots blocked, 8 shots ricocheted, 2 partial penetrations, 6 over penetrations. I think it's maybe time to switch this back to auto. I don't want the secondary guns firing off armour piercing if that's going to over penetrate all the time. So let them manage their own ammo. Okay, so Saratoga's taking a bit of damage. Lexington still pristine. It's interesting that, well, I suppose it makes sense, both ships targeting the same light cruiser with their secondary guns. And also in terms of the AI, this cruiser's clearly trying to circle around behind us. This guy here seems to be sticking close to the convoy. But there's still... Oh no, we've knocked out the... Yeah, we've knocked out the main cruiser, or the heavy cruiser. Good damage there. Let's come back to the right. Good hit there. Still obviously, well, the fire control's damaged, and look at the amount of fire there is below decks. Structure's reducing, so it looks like fire maybe affects structure. I wasn't sure if that was the case before. Where's this guy from? Is still a long way away. Don't need to worry about torpedoes then. For now anyway. Nice seeing the Lexington's shots arcing overhead. So the second light cruiser circling round as well. Still 5 kilometres away. 5.2. Yeah, so if we can take out this battleship, and then we can start taking out the transports while we keep the cruisers at arm's length. Closing the distance slightly. I think we're okay for now. Forza's in a bad way. It's in a very bad way now. Does it have any guns left? Looks like there's one gun in this. Yeah, on the starboard, but it's gone. Excessive fire, extensive fire. Excellent. Okay, so what's our heading? Yeah, that's fine. Curve back in towards those transports now. And imagine, yeah, main guns start targeting the light cruisers. Okay, so that's effectively 20 minutes into the scenario. We've taken out the 3 heavier escort ships. Maybe it'll be so easy to take out the light cruisers though. So range is down to 4 kilometres. So let's put rudder ahead. Try and let these guys continue circling around behind. Good hit. Yeah, so I think I'm happy with the way the AI manages the targeting. I think at this point we could have ships firing at independent targets, but when if you get a few hits like that, I mean this guy's still so far out of range, he's not really a threat. I wonder if they were closer to his whether the ships would target independently. But at the moment, the closer ship's clearly the bigger threat. So destroy that before it can launch torpedoes. It makes sense. Let's just continue ahead for the moment. Well, we might want to come to starboard slightly, make sure that we can still get a broadside off. I think we will do that. So, division gets not necessarily that far, it's just a slight change of course. Secondary guns now shooting at the second cruiser. No, actually, it's just that that one seems to have slowed for some reason. Wonder how many engines it's got left. No, his engines are fine. Rudder damage, that might be causing it just to circle. I think I'm going to head down range. I've not done this yet. I was trying to avoid it, but I wanted to see what's happening. Yeah, so it's clearly circling. I think what I would like to see now is the main armament target the other ship. But then, if it's going to do stuff like that, not to miss the shots before that did 784 damage. I suppose we can live with that. So, indicators, they've got one engine damage, they've got rudder damage, conning tower damaged, and obviously ships on fire. Any fire happening up here? I thought I saw shells arcing over that direction. Yes. 3-inch and 5-inch shots. You're still untouched. Let's watch one more main gun salvo come in, and then we'll go back up to our own ships. Ooh. So that was it done then. So let's go to Saratoga. Why the Saratoga? Why are you still doing 20.4 knots? Can you slow? We've got fire on here. I think we'll bring you slightly further to starboard. Okay. Good to see. Right, now what I want to check once this salvo lands. What distance are you at now? 8 kilometres. Where's the other cruiser? Saratoga's lost sight of it. Yeah, so you're shooting at the Tembion. In Lexington, what are you shooting at? So they've picked off separate transports, which is excellent. You don't have visual on that other cruiser at all. Is that other cruiser sunk? Are we now shooting at the... Hang on, no, they've still got 2 light cruisers. I guess we've lost visual on the one that was circling. Still got 29 minutes left, and as you can see we're down to single speed because we are so close to enemy ships. And I'd like to say that it was entirely intended, but I'm quite pleased to see the way that we're shepherding these ships. We're closing in, particularly this one coming through the centre, but we've got them corralled, while their escorts are out of effective range. For them anyway. I presume that if I sink all of these transports and the cruisers are still afloat, we still end the scenario. Go slow ahead in both, and actually now let's put torpedoes on normal. Same for the Saratoga, and just see if the torpedoes fire independently as well. Lexington, what's your 3-inch gun doing? It is shooting, supposedly. I don't see any shells. No, that was the 5-inch. No, it was a 3-inch. Whoa! Torpedo hit! From here. That is astounding. Anyway, so we've taken some structural damage. No, we didn't. Hang on. Lexington. Yeah, torpedo hits. 100 damage. Got a bit of flooding, but hopefully our many bulkheads will keep us afloat. That is an astonishing shot because I have changed course slightly and changed speed. And they managed to still hit me directly amidships. I think more by luck than design, I think. So we've got one torpedo away from the Lexington. This ship's still not sunk. Amazing. Back to the Lexington. Watch this torpedo, see how much damage it does. So, transport is untouched. Okay, good hit midships, fire and flood. Standard bulkheads. So let's see if that manages to cope. Still don't have any hits on Giulio Germanico. Plenty of ammo left. I was wondering about increasing speed again, but actually, no, I suppose we can't see this other ship. I don't know if it has launched another torpedo. Let's go back to rudder amidships. Rudder amidships, here we go. Back up to half ahead. got long left, I don't think. We've lost sight of both cruisers now. We're in the heart of the convoy. Okay, so the torpedo didn't destroy the ship. Flooding seems to have stopped. Got it under control. This guy here doesn't have long left. So I think what we'll actually do. No, we need to stay on its outside, track around ahead of it, so that we don't have to reposition the turrets. We'll do that. Hopefully that's okay for this ship as well. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so where is it? Tembiel, I guess that's back here, yep. So Saratoga will take out the Benedetto Brin. And that should probably leave us just with 2 to take out. And this fires region right through the ship. Okay. This ship here has eventually sunk due to the flooding. So one torpedo hit seems to have been enough. That's impressive. And I wonder, the fact that the ship... Oh, is it 2 torpedo hits? Yes, okay. 2 torpedoes into it. I just thought it's impressive that the AI stopped firing the guns at it. Obviously reckoned that 2 torpedoes would be enough to see the job done. Okay. So now, let's make sure we're in the lakes. I want to be able to see our heading from the Lexington. That'll do for now. Okay, so this guy just about done. One left, and then I suppose we can circle back, finish off the cruisers if need be. I think this update has done a lot for destructive power. Thinking back to the scenarios I've played before, and the length of time we'd spend shooting at enemy ships without being able to destroy them, things seem to be happening much more quickly just now. I like this sort of thing that most of the time you'll probably overlook, but seeing the oil slick, the sinking lifeboats, that's a nice wee touch. Okay. So I'm just wondering, the fact that the cruisers have so completely vanished, is that down to... I thought that was something. No, that's just the range marker. yeah, the cruisers have vanished. I'm trying to remember if the scenario said that the enemy would never retreat. Because if it did say that, then where are the cruisers? And if the enemy is able to retreat, have the cruisers drawn off because they knew the convoy was lost? It's interesting. To me, anyway. There's 2 light cruisers, one of them heavily damaged. Obviously wouldn't be able to save the convoy against 2 battle cruisers. So I guess the cruisers have withdrawn. Oh, there's one as I speak, one reappears. The damaged one, it's probably still sailing in circles, still got rudder damage. What was that? 1,000 damage, what was that from? Just sheer damage from the 13-inch guns. And that's the end of the scenario, I suppose. All the transports are gone. So it did look like the cruisers, or the one cruiser that was able to, disengaged, headed for the hills. Anyway, so I quite enjoyed that scenario. It does seem like destroying enemy ships is easier than it was before. It could just have been a complete fluke. I think one of the battleships we're up against, there was an ammo explosion. But the heavy cruiser and the 2 battleships seemed to be taken out much more easily, and I took hardly any damage. In fact, if it wasn't for that lone torpedo hit that came out of nowhere, we probably wouldn't have taken any significant damage at all. Anyway, enjoyable. So, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please leave me a comment, rate the video, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content, and hope to see you again next time. Cheers.